Hi guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my makeup and having another little story time. I assume that you can tell by the title or the thumbnail of the video what this story time is going to be about. So if you are not into things like this, then quite frankly I don't know what you're still doing here. Initially, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this story time, I guess because it's kind of an embarrassing topic. But then I decided that everybody poops. Well, I didn't decide it. I don't have that kind of power. Maybe decided was the wrong word. I realized, I embraced the fact that everybody poops. And I just find stories like this funny when people are like a hair away from crapping themselves, or even if they wind up fully crapping themselves. That just adds something special. But yeah, today I am going to be telling you about the time that I almost shat myself on a boat in Italy, and about a time that I almost flooded a bathroom at a house party. Yeah. So if you want to hang out and hear about how I narrowly avoid crapping myself, then stick around. If you're into this kind of stuff, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, unlike the last story time, I am not going to mention what products I'm using, simply because they have absolutely nothing to do with the story. Alright, I'm gonna kick this off by taking you back to the summer of 2008. I was vacationing with my family in Italy. That sounds fancy. It was August, it was hot, but it was Italy, so I am absolutely not complaining. Oh, I guess I should preface both of these stories by telling you that I have a pretty irritable bowel. So does my dad, so does my sister. Like, I'm talking if we eat tomato sauce, we're running for the toilet. So I have plenty of stories like this, but these ones stand out to me as sort of pinnacles in my life. Memories that are so vivid, I can actually feel them. So we're in Venice, we go out for dinner, and I can't remember exactly what I ate, but I assume it was seafood because prior to this, I had never really eaten seafood, aside from like breaded fish sticks that you find in the freezer aisle. I was 18, by the way, and sushi was not really a thing. Well, I guess it was a thing, but... So anyways, I had started ordering and eating seafood on this trip. So we finished the dinner, and just like a scene out of a movie, my stomach starts gurgling. It is truly the song of my people. So we're waiting for the bill, and I tell my parents that it's time to go. And I mean, like, we gotta go. My dad, who as I mentioned suffers from the same stomach problems, tells me just to use the washroom at the restaurant because he has no problem just blowing ass whenever, wherever. I, on the other hand, don't play those games. I prefer not to have a bunch of strangers listening to my performance in the stalls. So I not so politely decline that suggestion. We pay the bill, we walk outside. I'm looking around everywhere like I've just lost my child, trying to find the water bus station. That's right, I now have to go catch a water bus to get back across the canal to my hotel. At this point, my mom says, well, we aren't ready to go yet. Jasmine and I want to get gelato. Would you like your gelato? At this point, my butt muscles have never worked so hard in their life. So my dad, sweetheart that he is, says that he'll take me to the bus station and get me back to the hotel. Great. Cool. Glad that's settled. So he figures out which direction we need to head, and I just start hightailing it, trying to avoid having a visit to Fudge Mountain right there in the street. We find the bus station, and it is like seeing the gates to heaven. It was right there. But then I realize, is there a boat there right now? Are people getting on the boat right now? I'm still a ways back, and I can't run because if I engage those muscles, the other muscles that I've been using, they let go of everything they've been holding in. So if you've ever seen a person speed walking, but their knees are touching, like it's literally just the bottoms of their legs moving, yeah, it's likely because they're about to crap themselves. So that's what I did. I Fred Flintstoned my way to the bus station, just in time to watch the boat sail away into the distance. Bye. I should also explain, for anyone who hasn't experienced deeply traumatizing experiences like this, the feeling of having to poop was coming and going in waves. So you hit the high point of the wave, where everything is about to collapse. But then you hold on long enough that it starts to come back down, and you feel like maybe, just maybe, you can make it to the washroom in time. As the water bus pulled away, I started to come down from the most recent wave that I was riding. We waited about 10 minutes, and who do we see come walking up with their gelatos? Their mother gelatos. Oh, you guys haven't left yet? Nope. Not yet. Do you want some gelato? No. No, I don't. After what felt like hours, but more realistically, it was probably like 20 minutes, another water bus pulls up. I swear to God, I was hopping on that thing before they had even tied themselves to the dock. I needed to get on there, and I needed to sit. Standing was no good. Standing meant that gravity was working against us. So we get our seats, and just as the boat pulls away, the next wave starts to rise. At this point, I'm sitting like half on one ass cheek because I can't sit properly. If I do that, my body thinks we're locked into position and ready to go. Now keep in mind, as I've been saying this whole time, this is a bus, which means there are multiple stops. It's not going straight from where we got picked up to our hotel. Multiple stops in between. That means this was about a 20 or 30 minute ride back to our hotel. This whole time, I'm staring out the window at nothing because this is like 8 p.m. It was dark. I could see nothing. But I can see my life flashing before my eyes. And I keep thinking to myself, am I seriously going to be the story for all these people on this water bus? The focal point of their travel story, their 2008 trip to Italy, would revolve around that teenage girl who shat her pants on a boat. At this point, I'm also trying not to cry. And I look across and I see my lovely sister eating her stupid gelato, laughing, which then in turn makes me start to laugh. So every time I laugh, my stomach muscles are contracting. It was like playing Russian roulette with my bowels. So then I start crying even more. So then I'm like laughing, crying. Honestly, everyone around me probably thought I was just drunk as hell. So this wave never ends. We pull up to the hotel. I do like the running long jump off of the boat onto the dock. Book it to the hotel. Have to wait for the elevator. One of two were broken, so we were all relying on one. I made it to the bathroom, and the reason that I believe this was food poisoning is because I literally stayed on the toilet until 3 a.m. I kid you not. That memory stands out to me more than any other on that trip to Italy. Fast forward a few years, I don't remember how old I was, it was my early 20s. So I had just started seeing this guy, like maybe weeks before this. Okay, so at this point, he doesn't even know that I poop. I'm a girl, so normally we don't do that. So he and his roommate are about to have a house party, and he picks me up midday. We go for lunch. I order a Caesar salad. I know it sounds unlikely. I was a lot skinnier back then, so ordering a Caesar salad as a meal is something that I would have done. Anyways, I did this with purpose, because I know my stomach. I didn't want to eat anything too heavy, because I'm about to spend the entire day and night at this house party. Yeah. We finish lunch, we go to pick up a couple friends. We grab them, and they decide that they want McDonald's. We pull into the McDonald's drive-thru, and the song starts again. I realize at this point I have two options. I can either go into the McDonald's bathroom and terrify whatever kids are in the vicinity, or I can use the power of my mind to wish this away. I obviously went with the more practical option and stayed in the vehicle, choosing to wish this away. We get to the house, and people start to show up pretty much immediately, and I decide I need to go to the bathroom. I go upstairs, I lock myself in the bathroom, hyperventilate for like a second, and then I decide, you know what, I'm gonna be a big girl. Everybody poops. I gotta do it. I sit on the toilet, and at the last second, I decide, no, I don't want to be a grown-up. I don't want to do this. This guy cannot know that I poop. I get off the toilet after doing absolutely nothing. I determine that I have to flush the toilet to make it seem like I was peeing. I flush the toilet, and the water just keeps rising. It stopped, no exaggeration, like a centimeter from the top of the bowl. If I had actually crapped, it would have looked like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory up in that bathroom. You would have seen that fat German kid floating around. So while part of me is absolutely relieved, the other part of me still has to crap. I go to this guy's room, I sit on the floor, his roommate walks by and asks if I'm okay, and I say what comes to mind, which is that I just don't feel well. This roommate was the best guy in the world. He came back with a garbage can for me. Oh, I do not think that's gonna work here, buddy. I decide to call my mom. I tell her that it's urgent. She needs to come get me, like 10 minutes ago. She picks me up, I get in the car, and I tell her, while holding on to that handlebar, just drive. I wait about 15 seconds, after I've caught my breath before I tell her that I just really, really have to poop. I think she was kind of amused, but also kind of pissed off because she thought I had wound up in a bad situation with a bunch of people that I don't know. She asks if I want to stop at my grandma's house on the way home rather than driving all the way back to her house. I'm at a low point of the wave at this point, but I say yeah, good idea, since my grandma lived about halfway between the two houses. We get to the end of my grandma's street before the wave strikes again. I'm holding onto the bar with one hand, I'm pushing my butt up off of the seat with the other hand, and I'm breathing like I'm giving birth. My mom is now in tears laughing. We pull into my grandma's driveway. I think we were still rolling by the time I jumped out of the car and ran to the front door. The door was locked. This door was pretty much never locked. I ring the doorbell. Ding, 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 ding. And I can see my grandma in her nightgown coming up to the door. She's not in any rush. The urgency of the doorbell ringing meant nothing to her. Again, freedom is in sight for me. Her hand hits the door handle, and then she looks down at her dog, who's standing there barking. Sassy move. Sassy move. Sassy move. Open the door, Grandma. She finally opens the door, and I literally push her aside as I run past, run up the stairs, and finally make it to safety. Okay, guys, well, that's it. This is the finished look. I hope you found that interesting, or at the very least, I hope it helped you kill some time if that's what you were trying to do. And I hope to see you back at some point. If I did not entirely scare you away. Bye!